everything was working like, I would say, a Swiss watch. Perfect. And then I ended up getting pregnant and I ended up having a miscarriage. And I think that's when all the balls just dropped. And I was like, wait a minute, I'm perfect. Like I'm a superhuman. I could do everything. How come?
Hi everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Madinat Mom Podcast. I'm Noor, your host, and today's guest is the definition of powerhouse energy. Donna is a mom, an athlete, an entrepreneur, and a leader in the world of women's fitness. She is the co-owner of Bahrain's leading sportswear brand, and she is also the co-captain of an all-female running and cycling group. Her story has been marked by strength, resilience, hustle, heart, and a lot of love. From navigating motherhood to managing her business, all while keeping up with her fitness routine and inspiring others along the way. Donna is here today, all the way from Bahrain, to talk to us a little bit about motherhood, fitness, and what it really takes to be an entrepreneur and a woman in such a fast-paced world. So thank you for being here, Donna.
Noor, thank you for having me. I'm so excited, to be honest.
We're so excited to have you. We had a little bit of a chat before this, but I know that you're here for a race.
Yes.
And your race is tomorrow.
Yes, it is.
So good luck.
Thank you.
But can you tell us a little bit about how did your passion for fitness start? When did it start?
Oh, well, let's rewind back to when I was a kid. I started running when I was 13 years old. I was a student at the American School of Kuwait, and they were kind of getting us ready for sports day. And one of the coaches noticed that I was just a very fast runner. And he said, we're going to have you for the track team. And then I started competing internationally and nationally in Kuwait. And we used to travel all over the GCC. I used to go to Egypt, Bahrain, Dubai, UAE, Abu Dhabi, to do different races. So I did track and field. I also played volleyball. Well into university, I played volleyball for LAU's university. And if you go to LAU Beirut, you'll see my name as one of the most valuable players in 2001 or 2002.
Mm-hmm. So from 13.
So from 13 till today, which I'm 42, just to let you know.
Wow.
So it's been a while.
And so you feel like it's something that you've had instilled in you from a very young age.
I think sports is definitely instilled in me, and it's instilled all my values, which is my discipline. I am disciplined and motivated, and who I am is purely because of sports. And it's funny because my parents were always against me doing sports, and they were always telling me, oh, stop wasting your time running and staying after school for practices. Just study, 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 because, you need to think about university and you need to think about your career. And sports is not going to get you anywhere because you're not a pro athlete, which I find ironic because now looking back, if it wasn't for sports, I wouldn't have the platform that I have. I wouldn't have the recognition that I have. And I would not be the person that I am right now.
And you then had your daughter, you became a mom.
Yeah.
How did sports and your fitness routine get impacted by motherhood, from pregnancy to postpartum to just being mom?
No one prepares you for this. So I wanted to challenge myself before I had a child. So in 2013, I partook in the Dubai marathon, the full marathon. It was my first marathon at 30. So I did the Dubai marathon in January. And then I said, you know what? I can do a marathon. I'm going to do an Ironman in May. So I trained for a half Ironman in May, a 70.3. I did it in Mallorca. And then after that, I felt, okay, I accomplished some of the goals that I wanted to accomplish. Now I want to have a baby. I was 30 at the time. I got pregnant immediately after Ironman. Like I was pregnant in July. I found out. I took the test. And I had such an easy pregnancy. I was very sleepy the first trimester. I was just like, I wanted to sleep. It went so well. And even when I gave birth, giving birth, I didn't have an epidural. I didn't take any drugs. I powered through. And I even remember my doula was like, come on, you can do it. And I told her, I was like, I've done Ironman. I think I can push this baby out. And I just closed my eyes and concentrated and like pushed her out. So it you feel like these types of races kind of get you ready for giving birth. But then that was the easy part. I didn't realize having a child and your time no longer being yours was so strange to me. So I went from someone who was disciplined, who would train every day, go and then goes to work and just had such a regimented life, to when is the baby sleeping? When is the baby eating? The baby is not sleeping throughout the night. I'm not well rested, but I still had to go to work. I was a full-time banker at the time. My brain needed to be switched on. I'm dealing with numbers. So any like small percentage, I'm talking millions, because I was working for NCB Capital at the time. So it's a large bank with large funds. So even like a small basis point here and there, it's a large amount to mess up. So you really have to be switched on. It was something that I was not prepared for. I was not ready, nor was I told that your life no longer belongs to you. I breastfed full time and I worked full time. And it wasn't this post, COVID where you can work from home. No. You had to get your butt to work on time. And I really had a male boss that was very mean. And I remember so Bahrain gives you 6 hours work, which is light leave. And they start counting it. So they give you 6 months of it, but they count the first 2 months that you're on maternity leave, imagine. So I only had 4 months of 6-hour works, basically light work, which is only 6 hours. And he would make me stay and take a lunch break so that I do 7 hours. So I stay at the office for 7 hours. So the environment it's not friendly to women. I gave birth to my daughter in 2014. I mean, it's not that far away, but it was definitely not friendly to me. And I stuck through it. It was hard and I missed my daughter and all I thought about was my daughter. And I'm lucky that I had my mother who took care of her while I was at work. I can't imagine for the moms that do have to go to work and they're in a foreign country, or moms that have to leave the country, have someone else take care of their child while they're at work. So for working moms, honestly, you guys need an award because it's hard work. You're expected as a mother, a working mom, if you are a working mom, you're expected to work as if you don't have children and you have no responsibility other than your work. Then, after the work hours, when mommyhood starts, you're expected to be so switched on. You have to be a full-on, pay attention to your child all the time, be aware of all their activities, all their whatever your child needs, whether it's food, sickness, play dates, schoolwork, whatever, you need to be completely switched on. There's no one else coming in for you. Now, I thank God we're in 2025 and men have kind of stepped up as well. But I can't say everyone's there. I'm lucky that I have a husband that's supportive, but it did take time for him to acquire or step in and realize like my wife is drowning and she needs help.
Yeah.
She's working just as much as I'm working. Why is she doing everything while I'm just sat? It takes time for them to realize that, because most of them had non-working moms. So their moms were just always there, but they weren't working full time. So yeah, we're expected to also look like we've never had a baby as well. I've gotten so many mean comments, well, you had a baby 6 months ago. You still look pregnant. Yeah, I'm tired. I'm working full time. I'm breastfeeding full time. And I'm an athletic person. I'm a person that worked out all the time, Noor, and I could not get up and go to the gym. I would say the first 2 years, I didn't even get up to leave the house. If people wanted to see me, they had to come to the house to see me, because I just can't. I was too tired, too exhausted. My hormones were out of whack. And it's just, we just need to be nicer, and we need to remind ourselves that this is what we went through, and not to judge and be mean to other people about it, and just be empathetic to a lot of the women that are going through what we went through.
That was beautifully said. And that round of applause for working moms, honestly, is very well deserved. I think moms are in a system that don't support them enough. And there is a heavy weight on what moms need to be doing. And as you said, juggling multiple things. And then when we are not able to do it, we feel the guilt.
Oh, yeah.
Although we're in a system that doesn't support working moms, going back to that system, going back to work 2 months after giving birth must have been mentally, emotionally, physically draining. I can't imagine how it must have been for you. Can you tell us a little bit about, because you were still going through postpartum, how was it going back to work 2 months in, going through postpartum, leaving your little baby at home? How did that make you feel? How did that affect your postpartum recovery?
I mean, I was sad. And to be honest with you, at some point, I was resentful to my husband, because I was thinking to myself, why am I going to work? Why aren't you supporting me? Why can't I just quit my job? And to be honest with you, it was my mom. My mom was like, go back to work. You went to college. You studied applied mathematics. No daughter of mine's just going to sit at home and collect dust. You know what I mean? She was like, you worked hard for the position that you're at. Your job is a respectable, reputable, a great company, and you get paid well. You get bonuses. Why would you forego that and sit at home and do what? That was her mindset. And honestly, it was her. I will tell you something. Even at work, all the ladies had babies at the same time. We were all at the same age, and we all had babies at the same time. And I remember we were pumping our boobs while we were at work to have milk for our babies at home. And we asked the company at the time, we said, we want one of the meeting rooms so that we can pump. We refused to pump in the bathroom. I told them, I was like, I am not pumping my baby's food where people go and urinate and defecate. I just can't. And so we got that. We tried really hard to have a room where it was a playroom for our children. And we told them we would bring our nannies. They would be in the room, and we can just go breastfeed the child and then go back to work. And we would be at work longer because our child is there. That did not go. They succeeded at doing that in Saudi for the Khabar branch, but they said no to the Bahrain branch, unfortunately. But I would have, imagine having that. Imagine that kind of environment for you I would have stayed at work. I would have stayed late. I would have worked harder because my daughter's right there.
Yeah. These are the support systems we need in place,
Yeah.
right? Longer maternity leave, more support at work. Bringing your baby to work is such a solution to so many moms. Still, of course, with a much longer maternity leave than 2 months, but being able to continue to breastfeed, even just go and have a look, see what they're doing. I think it makes such a big difference.
Yeah, just touching your child.
How long was your mom able to help you out for?
So my mom helped me out for, I would say it's like the first 4 or 5 years. I resigned in 2019. So she was born in, so 5 years. So she was 5. The reason why I decided to resign is because I did everything. I actually, Noor, at some point, I was like, I don't know how to explain it to you, but I feel like I was one of these well-oiled machines that was working like clockwork. I would describe myself as either a circus juggler, and I was juggling and everything. I was watching everything. I was on top of things at work. I was on top of things with my daughter. I was on top of things with my friendship circles. I also had my cycling and running group at that time. I was on top of things with giving back to the community, as well as like just in general with my fitness. Everything was working like, I would say, a Swiss watch. Perfect. And then I ended up getting pregnant, and I ended up having a miscarriage. And I think that's when all the balls just dropped. And I was like, wait a minute, I'm perfect. Like I'm a superhuman. I could do everything. How come? And then I started running through my head. What is it? What did I do? Did I overexhaust myself? Did I work too hard? Was I running? Did I lift something? Did I pick up my daughter too fast? Did I eat something? It was consuming me. And honestly, it's a mystery that, I mean, you'll never know, right? What causes it? No one ever knows. And that's when I just realized, I was like, my God, I think that's it. There is a big chance that I might not have more kids. What am I doing at work? I'm sat here at work, but my mind is with my daughter. And why should I waste my time at work when I could be wasting my time? I wouldn't call wasting, but I would be spending my time with my daughter. What am I achieving at work? What am I accomplishing? Okay, I'm making money for the bank, or I'm managing the bank's liquidity. If tomorrow the bank shuts down, they wouldn't even bat an eye. They'd be like, okay, bye, Donna. Thank you. Thank you for your service. See you later. But do you know what? My daughter would have been like, I didn't see my mom. She was working all the time. I grew up not seeing my mom. I grew up with my grandma. And you know what? God bless my grandma. Grandma worked so hard. And by the way, it was my mom who helped. My sisters always helped. So I have 2 sisters and my mom, and they were a full family unit that really did help out. They would pick up my daughter from school. They would take her to her activities. Keep in mind, this is the first 5 years of her life. I feel like my daughter did not miss out on me, but I did not want any more. I did not want to miss out anymore on my daughter. And so I decided, worth gotta wait. On top of that, I feel like in this day and age, you can make a career out of anything. We had a sportswear line, me and my sister, that we started, Tru Active. So I said, I'll focus on that. At the same time, Instagram. with stories, my popularity on Instagram was increasing while I was at work. So I said, you know what? I could make a career out of blogging. It's can't be that hard.
Well, I mean, thank you for sharing that, Donna. And I'm very sorry to hear that you went through that. Miscarriages are very difficult. And a lot of the times people don't understand the emotions that go into dealing with a miscarriage.
I mean, the miscarriage was over 7 years ago. And it still hurt.
It still hurts.
And I never even saw the baby, you know?
But there is still that connection that you
Yeah.
had with the baby. And so, of course, it's going to hurt. And I'm very sorry for that. But can you share a little bit more about how did you process? How did you get to the decision of, okay, this is it. I might not be able to have more kids?
So first of all, when I went for the checkup, it was a routine check. There was nothing wrong. I just went at my 3-month checkup, and I had my whole family with me to watch the ultrasound, to hear the heartbeat. So I had my husband, my daughter, my sister was coming along, but she had to cancel last minute. And he just did an ultrasound. And he said, and even that, like the bedside manners, so like there's zero of it. And he just said, oh no, oh no. And I was like, what? And I was filming. I even had it on film. And he was like, the baby's dead. There's no heartbeat. I cried from the ultrasound room to the doctor's office, to the car, to the couch, to then staying on the couch. I don't think I moved for a week. It was so painful. I was telling my husband I'm driving to work. At the time, I told him my whole head is tingling. What is that feeling? I don't understand. And he's like, you're feeling anxiety, which is something I never felt. And because I was always happy, I was always exercising, I was always, I just had my life in order. It was so strange to me. I felt sad, I would say, for months. I would just kind of like stay. I asked for a sabbatical initially. They didn't want to let me go because the CEO really liked me. The company liked me. They were really sad. So they said I wanted to quit. So they said, have a sabbatical. Just take this time off. Think about it. And I took like a whole month off. And after a month, I went back and I was like, I'm really sorry. I've evaluated the situation and I can't. I want to spend every moment with my daughter. I can't go back to work. I can't. I physically can't. I can't do it anymore. It's just not for me. I was so sad. And a lot of ladies reached out to me. So many ladies, because I had Let Us Run at the time. And my partner at Let Us Run was out of town. And people were asking me, when is the next run? When is the next run? And I had to make a video like to tell them, like, by the way, our next run is going to be canceled. But I couldn't even hold back the sadness. So I just said, I had a miscarriage and I physically can't get out of bed. I can't go. I can't see people. And so many women reached out. So many. I had maybe over 100 messages from women just talking about their experiences. And I realized I thought I was the only one. but no one talks about it. No one says, because, we keep it a secret till it's like the safe zone. But so many women go through it, and it's just something that never gets talked about. And I think it's something that no one even tries to process, or there's I don't know, like there's no group. Like they have the Alcoholics Anonymous, or they have, groups who went through cancer, who are fighting cancer or whatever. But there's like no group of women who are people that have miscarriages that would like to just talk about their experience.
Donna, that honestly, like, you gave me goosebumps while you were talking.
Sorry.
Your emotions are real, and miscarriage is not easy. For some reason, moms process in silence. And a lot of the times in the region, it's as if it's wrong to express, sadness over a miscarriage, but it is the reality of things. And having a community around you, a supportive community around you, can make a very big difference in how you recover. And you mentioned that you had that community from your family, but also from the all-female running group that you started. How important do you feel it is for women? Because I really believe as women, we're not meant to process on our own. We're not meant to process in silence. We're meant to have that community. We're meant to have that village. How important did you feel at the time that it was for you to have that village of women around you?
I would say it was amazing, and it's very important. So when I was on the couch for a week, I would say I was never alone. Every single one of my girlfriends would just come and sit. They would just sit, and they would tell me, like, are you sure you don't want to be alone? And I told them, honestly, no, I don't want to be alone. So people always think that when someone's sad, they want to be alone. Actually, that's farthest from the truth. You want to be around people. You want to be surrounded by people. And honestly, for me, it's just telling the story over and over again. Just help me process what happened.
Yeah. And you're still co-captain of the all-female running group.
Yes.
How has it been seeing it grow and evolve?
It's lovely. It's absolutely lovely. Just seeing the cycling group and the running group grow and creating such a lovely community and a healthy community, because a lot of people link being thin to health, and that's actually not true. Physical fitness also helps with your mental health. Creating a community of women helps you harness that group and harness friendships that you might have never made had you not come to the running group. So it's something that I absolutely love, and I'm so proud of, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's amazing that you're still part of that. You're still leading that.
Yeah, in years. It's been years. So the cycling group, Cycling Bees, was started in December 2016. And Let Us Run was started in June 2018. So imagine how much time it's been. And it's going strong.
So Dana, moving on a little bit into the mompreneur behind Dana Zubari, can you tell me a little bit about the inspiration behind your sports brand?
So my sports brand's called Tru Active, and I started it with my sister, who is, in summary, she is not only my sister, she's my best friend, she's my business partner, and honestly, she's 8 years younger than me. I also raised her, so I always call her my first daughter. My sister studied at London College of Fashion, and she studied sportswear. At the same time, I'm a banker. I'm a new mom. I had my daughter. So when we first started, she was 1 year old. My daughter. I had a gut. I had so much extra fat. Everything was wobbling. Oh, so just a little bit of background other than entrepreneurship. When I had a baby, I had gained 25 kilos, and I kept it on for a good 2 years. So just to give you some perspective, when I got pregnant, I was 60. When I gave birth to Layla, I think I was around 83, 85. I think I stopped looking because my stomach was so big I couldn't look down at the scale. So I think I stopped counting at 80. So the range was 20 to 25. Now, my sister wanted to start her company in the UK. And I was like, why are you starting it in the UK? Have it here in the Middle East. We need nice sportswear brands. I would go to Nike, no offense to Nike or Adidas, but it's like the quality is so cheap and it was so expensive. You'd put it on, and because I had like a bigger tummy, it would roll. I had a drawstring, but it wouldn't hold. When I'd do burpees, like my butt would show. You know what I mean? It didn't hold your body the way it was made for someone who's skinny and tall and look like a model. And what about the rest of the people who are out there who don't fit that description? I didn't fit that description. So I told her, come back to the Middle East. I will fund the business financially and I exercise. So, and it's like my network is all sports people. Mm-hmm. So she said, fine, I'll design some stuff and we'll make the leggings. So the leggings have Arabic calligraphy on it that was done by my father. So he does the calligraphy. My sister digitizes it. And we created products that are such good quality. And it was high-waisted and it would hold your stomach in. So for the ladies who weren't a stick figure, who had curves, who had an Arab body, felt so confident in the way they dressed at the gym. It was so beautiful for people to come up to us and tell us, we love your sportswear. It's such good quality. It was also thick material, so it would hide the cellulite. We made it in shapes that would make you look slimmer than what you are, just so that you feel good about yourself. Who doesn't want to look thinner than what they are when they go to the gym? Don't you want to look good when you go to the gym? This whole so when we started in 2015, 2016, athleisure didn't happen yet. We just hit it. Like we started it, and that whole movement of athleisure where you wear stylish clothes to the gym. Before it was like you just wear that really old ugly t-shirt from high school and like some shorts or some like capris and yalla go and hit the gym, because anyways they're gonna sweat in it. So it wasn't like a look that was put together. So we started doing that, and women in Bahrain and all over the Middle East just loved our stuff. So that was one chapter of my entrepreneurship, which I absolutely love. Also, you know, when you own something, I can't be a doctor, a heart surgeon, and smoke a cigarette. Yeah. I can't tell my patients, you know, smoking is bad for you, but here I am puffing on a cigarette, right? It's the same with me. I was selling sportswear, but I also was living, breathing the brand. A lady actually stopped me and told me. She said, you know what, Donna? You know what I like about you? I told her, what? She said, you're selling sportswear, but you believe in what you're selling. You believe in living a healthy lifestyle. You believe in supporting women. You believe in, you know, encouraging women to get out there, get fit, create a community. And I think that's why that whole mix of Tru Active did so well. My sister was the designer, the visionary, and she's also she's also athletic, but it's just a different type. Just she does more yoga, Pilates. That's her style, and I'm more out there with triathlons, with running, with cycling, I just do so much, because I love staying active. So that two mixes where the designs were beautiful, but also my network of people and my social media and just my lifestyle, it really resonated with the brand. And I think that's why the brand did so well.
We'll definitely add the link to the brand in the show notes because I'm sure a lot of women are gonna want to go in and get themselves some of those pants. I know I will. Because as you said, sometimes the pants don't really fit the body. And just knowing that you and your sister started this brand, but also it was a reflection to something that you had been through is amazing. And I love the calligraphy. I love that idea.
I hear.
And I think it also instills a little bit of who we are. Yeah, in our, our identity in our clothing.
Well, that's why it was called Tru, because it's like true to our culture, true to us.
Yeah. And tell us a bit, because you mentioned the pants, before starting your brand wouldn't fit you well. So how has motherhood affected the entrepreneur side of you? How have you been managing your brand differently as a mom now?
I mean, we think of all the options. So, for example, as an entrepreneur, who doesn't like to match with their daughter? So we started making matching leggings with mommy and me.
That's so cute.
Leggings, they were so cute and they did so well. Like my daughter would wear a set and I would wear exactly the same set. And it was so cute. A lot of things, just you'd think about things that moms would want. And then we'd implement it into our sportswear. And that's how being an entrepreneur and a mom, and also just having flexible hours.
Yeah.
So that you can spend time with your daughter. I think that was one of the most rewarding things.
I think being a mom as well gives you a lot of amazing qualities that you probably bring onto your brand. Self-discipline, flexibility, time management.
Yeah.
But I love that you mentioned the mommy and me pants. Is your daughter into training as much as you are?
Unfortunately, my daughter got a lot of my husband's genes. I mean, so she loves playing piano and she loves singing. She definitely does not like running and cycling and doing any of the sports stuff that I love doing. But I'm hoping that she's still young and that I can still mold her into liking these things. But again, you can't force, just because you gave birth to them doesn't mean they're going to be a bioidentical twin to you.
Yeah. And she's young. She's just 11.
She's 11, but there are children that do like sports in her sports, like in her class. So I already know that it's just not her, just because when I was 11, I loved running.
Yeah.
So it wasn't, okay, yes, I didn't love running 3 kilometers, but I loved like sprinting and running really fast and just being outdoors. And I remember when we were picking out her extracurriculars, I told her I would like to sign you up for basketball or football. And she was like, please don't do that. Sign me up for debate class. Sign me up for chess club. I do not want to go and play basketball or football with anyone. So I listened to her and I didn't.
Yeah, she has her own
hobbies.
Yeah.
She does join me though on lettuce runs ever since she was a kid. I used to put her on a bike and we'd run and she'd cycle next to us. So there were days that she would want to join me and I always welcome it. Sometimes I would ask her, I bought her a bike now that she's taller and bigger. I'll tell her, why don't I run and you can cycle next to me and we'll just do 5 kilometers. So these are things that we enjoy together. It's not as often as I would like her to do, but I always tell her, maybe once you're a teenager, once you're a bit taller and we're the same height, she only has, I think, a year to go until she reaches my height. But I think she would join me.
Yeah.
Without any resistance, I hope.
Or maybe with a little resistance. But then she'll get there.
She'll get there. She'll come around.
Yeah. And I think the question on everyone's mind, Donna, is how do you balance it all? You have your business. You are someone that is extremely athletic. You have your family. You're a mom. A mom is just a full-time job. How do you balance it all?
Honestly, I have like 3 descriptions. No, 3 words, basically. I'm very disciplined. I don't know how to explain this, but my discipline comes from the power of saying no. So there are things that are my non-negotiables. My workouts is my non-negotiable. So what I tend to do is I wake up before my family wakes up by 2 hours and I train so that there is no excuse for me to not train. So that's 1. 2, it's time management. When I wake up in the morning, I have like bullet points of things that I need to accomplish in the day. And I know exactly the time slots in which they're going to be accomplished in. I don't live in the world of tomorrow. I live in the world of now, and I will achieve them. I don't have this, I'll just do it tomorrow. No, I have goals for every day. I set them and I achieve them, and then I move on to the next goals. So if you want to be a high functioning individual, you need to be disciplined. You need to say no to people, and good time management. You don't understand how much time you lose by being polite to people and just giving them your time. So I'm a person that's become very selfish with my time. My time is something that is very valuable. It's something that I can't put a dollar amount on because I can never get that back, just to let you know. So if I am spending time with someone, it's because I want to spend time with them. I will not waste any of my time on people that I don't value in my life. So be picky, because that's time that you can't get back. I'm just letting you know.
Time is sacred, right? And especially once you become a mom, you need to be very intentional with your time, with your energy, and just prioritize what matters to you. I like to say I'm in my JOMO season. Right now, it's like, it took me a while to get there, but I got there, and now I enjoy missing out things that I think no longer make sense to where I am in my life,
These things don't serve you anymore.
Yeah.
So even for me, friendships, occasions, things that don't serve me anymore, I do not partake in. And I know it sounds so selfish and it sounds so narcissistic, but you know what? I sleep so well at night and I'm totally fine.
But it's not selfish. It's just being intentional.
We live in this environment where we have to please people.
Yeah.
And now I feel like we're getting that power back, where it's like, no, why should I please people? I'm only going to please myself.
I think for new moms specifically, setting boundaries is very difficult, and saying no to things is very difficult because you hold on to what you used to know, and it takes you a minute to realize that your identity has shifted and you're in a different season, you're in a different stage, and what made sense for you or what made sense for your time
is different.
A year ago is different than it is now.
And I think every individual is like just in different stages of their life. We can't all just move in the same stages. People change. Maybe your 31-year-old friends don't have kids and they want to go out and they want to party. You can't partake in that anymore. That part of your life is over. Mm-hmm. Now it's raising your child time, and that's okay. So I always feel like it's okay. Like, I'll tell you an example. When I first had Layla, I didn't train for almost 2 years. I decided to partake in the Ironman's 70.3 Bahrain in 2016, December, when Layla was, I think, 2 years and change. That's when I started training again. But the first 2 years, I took a break. Why? I could go work out. I could. But my time needed to be spent on my daughter and not on training. There's a time and place for everything. And you'll enjoy life at any point in your life. But there are things that need priority. And motherhood and that 0 to 3 is such a crucial time for your daughter or your child. And then 7 years to 25. A lot of people think that quality time, that short quality time, is excellent for your child. And actually, it's not. Your child needs quantity and just more time spent with them than just a short quality time, because they can't differentiate. They're not like, oh, this is mommy quality time. Oh, now it's just quantity. No, they think my mom's with me all the time. If I feel anxious or I'm scared, my mom's right there. I feel safe now. So these are very important things for moms, new moms, to recognize and see that it's okay to not keep up with some of your friends who don't have kids. It's okay. It's okay that you don't have like that supermodel pre-baby body that you had. It's okay. You'll get it. You might get it in 5 years. You might never get it. But who cares? You have a beautiful child. You have a beautiful family. And whatever you would like to achieve, you can, if you set your mind to it.
Mm-hmm. And when you're in the right season.
And when you're in the right season of your life.
Yeah. I think it's amazing to hear that. And it's so important because a lot of the times we beat ourselves up over not training today or over not going out or over not doing something. But you said it, you took a break for 2 years and you're back to training. And for those moms that just are looking to get back to training and they just, at the end of the day, it's a long mommy day. It's a long work day. It's a long day. It's a long, stressful day. What are tips that you have to staying consistent with your training and with your fitness routine?
Okay, so my tip for all the moms out there. So to all the moms out there, be kind to yourselves. When you wake up in the morning, look at yourself and don't say anything negative to your body. Your body actually listens to these negative thoughts. Be kind. If you're a new mom, look at your body and say, my body gave birth to a child. I made a living being out of my stomach. That's 1. 2, be consistent. So you can't just go on a crash diet for 2 months and expect results. Be consistent. Don't starve yourself. Take steps. Try to do as much as you can. Try to walk. Walking half an hour a day is better than 0 hours a day. Try to lift weights at least 3 times a day if you can, not 3 times a day, 3 times a week. If you can't, at least maybe commit to a trainer so that you're like, oh, I'm paying them. I have to show up. Or even a group class where there is a bit of weight training. If you build muscle, you're not going to end up looking like the Hulk. You will gain muscle, and throughout the day, you will burn more calories. It's more productive than doing flat out cardio. Cardio just exhausts you. So try to lift, try to gain some muscle, have protein, try to cut out sugars from your diet, sleep early, and try to train before your family wakes up. Because I will tell you something, there's always an excuse in the afternoon for you not to train. So make that time in the morning, right before they wake up. Have that alone time to yourself. Wake up, do your workout, and then start your day. I know it sounds crazy, but if you keep doing it for 10 days straight, you're going to say, oh my God, thank you, Donna. Thank you for this amazing advice. And you'll sleep better because you'll sleep earlier. And say no. Do you want cake? No. Do you want this? No. But why? It's a special occasion. Just say no. It's okay. Tell them it's fine.
Yeah, and I love that. And also for context, like, just be kind, right, to yourself.
Right,
it's
to yourself.
okay if you miss a day or you miss a week or you miss 2 years.
2 years.
We are always our worst critics. And it's so important to be kind to ourselves.
1000%.
So thank you for saying that, Donna. And now I'm going to move on to a section that I love and we call a Strong Mama Mythbusters.
Okay.
And these are just statements that we've gotten from people online.
Okay.
And we put them down here. I'm going to tell them to you. Just tell me your thoughts on every statement. And let's bust some of these common myths because I think people need to hear this.
All right.
The first one is you can't start a business while raising a baby.
That's absolutely not true. You can start a business. And actually, it's a great time because the hours are flexible and you have a child, but also you can start a business. You can do a lot of things when you first have a baby. You just have to do some time management.
It might take a little bit longer, but that's okay. I mean, you're starting a business while keeping a little human alive. That's the power of a mom, okay? You can definitely start a business.
We're powerhouses. We're able to do a lot of things. I actually think we're superhumans.
Motherhood slows you down.
It depends. It depends. It does slow you down, but in a good way. It makes you reevaluate what is important. Before, I don't think you put much thought into your time. You didn't value your time. You thought your time is endless and you'll have so much time. But now with a child, you think, I have time, but I value my time because I could be spending my time with my child. What should I do with this time now? So it's the perspective of how you use your time.
Mm-hmm. That's a very good way of putting it. You're right. It does slow you down, but I think in the best way, right?
It's in the best way.
Yeah.
You become more selfish with your time.
Which is not a bad thing.
I love it. Actually, I love it. Be selfish with your time. If I have any advice to you ladies, be selfish with your time because it's something you can't bring back and it's something you can't put a dollar amount on.
There you go. Be selfish with your time. I like that. We're gonna put that down there so that we can always remember it because I think we associate that very negatively, selfishness. That actually brings me to the next one. You have to look a certain way to be considered fit.
God, I can't. I can't with that. First of all, just because you're thin does not make you fit. You could be the weakest, thinnest person in the world, and that's not great. You can be overweight or you could be considered chubby or whatever the world standard is right now. And you could lift yourself and you can squat and you are healthy and you can run. I've done so many competitions where I've seen so many people that are heavier than me that are running a lot faster than me. It means absolutely nothing. Being thin does not mean you are healthy. It just means you're thin.
And the next one is I mean, I'm just reading it and I'm like, okay, sure, but let's say it out loud. Age is a factor in how much you're able to work out.
That's absolutely not true at all. So I will tell you, Noor, I can show you a photo of myself when I thought I was at my peak in my 30s. I looked fantastic. If I show you a photo of me in a bikini then and in a bikini now, I look 1,000 times better because I incorporated a lot more weight training into my gym routine instead of just cardio, which really exhausts your body. Now, don't get me wrong. I love cardio. I'm a cardio bunny. I love cardio. But as we're getting older, I'm 42. Once we hit that perimenopause stage in our lives for the ladies, it is so crucial to build as much muscle as possible because this will prevent us from having osteoporosis in the future. The muscle hugs the bones, therefore our bones don't break when we're older. So it's very, very important to incorporate heavy lifting. And yes, you will not look like the Hulk, so don't worry. Just do it, build that muscle, have that protein. Don't deprive yourself of protein. Now, I know there are vegans, there are alternative proteins for you, but for people that are meat eaters, try to have 2 grams of protein per kilo of your weight. And those are your macros, not as in like you weigh the protein. No, it's like the macros. Because people are like, whoa, you eat that much protein? I was like, no, it's the macros. It's the macros.
Is it ever too late to start weight training?
Nope. I have a girlfriend who is 48 years old now at my gym. She's from Trinidad and Tobago. And she was always heavier set. I've known her since 10 years ago. She used to just do the cardio classes. Then she started doing regimented weight training for the past 3 years. Her body looks so much younger than what she did 10 years ago. She looks younger. Weight training makes you look young, by the way. It tightens your body. It brings all your muscles in. And it's fantastic. And you only need to do it like 3-4 times a week. And it's good for you. Having muscle mass is good. Don't weigh yourself. Weighing yourself is not going to do anything. I weigh 62, 63 kilos. If you see my inches, people are like, I can't believe you weigh so much. Yes, because I'm dense. I have muscle. So weighing yourself, don't weigh yourself. It's just bad. It's bad for your mental health. Millennials, you know what I'm talking about.
And it's never too late to start.
Never too late. You can even start at 50, 60, whatever age you want to start at.
Well, thank you so much, Donna. I think that was
a
great, very well-rounded discussion. We covered motherhood. We talked about entrepreneurship. We talked about business. And we also talked about miscarriage and the reality of the emotions that come with miscarriage.
That's true.
And so for the mother out there that's listening, for the woman that has just gone through miscarriage and is probably going through a lot right now, what do you want to tell her? And you can actually say it to the main camera.
My advice to you, honestly, as a mom or as a woman, just be kind to yourself. I think we live in a society where we are built to hate ourselves and to hate one another. I don't know why, but women are so critical of other women, and we are critical of ourselves. So just be kind. Look at yourself and say nice things to yourself. And I'll tell you something, there's always a time and place for everything. And when the time is right, you will know. You'll set those goals and you'll achieve them.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me, Noor.
Thank you for being here. And to end this episode, I just want to reiterate what Donna said. Kindness is very important. Being kind to yourself, first and foremost, is very important, but also allowing yourself to live in the season that you're in, to process your emotions, and setting your own priorities. Some things it's okay to say no to. And you will know what is draining your energy, what is draining your time, and where you need to be more intentional with your time. If you have a story of your own to share, make sure to share it with us. You can always reach me on Madinat Mom's Instagram, on contact@madinatmom.com, or on our website, www.madinatmom.com. If you've enjoyed this episode, make sure to hit that subscribe button, share it with a mama friend that you know might need to hear this discussion, and click that like button. Until next time, take care of yourselves as fiercely as you take care of your little ones.